Well, hello everyone, Tex88 here and welcome to another board game related video. And now we're taking a look at yet another expansion for Resident Evil 2, the board game. Now Resident Evil 2, the board game, came out in 2019 and is a cooperative board game for 1 to 4 players, adapting the Resident Evil 2 video game. Now you might be looking at this particular expansion and saying, haven't you already done a video for Malformations of G? Well, yes, but this is a different one. I'm just going to bring in the one I've done previously. There's the Malformations of G that I did in my previous video. This one is Malformation of G B files. So, especially as they both got different artwork on them as well, they are different. The contents are different. And another thing that makes this different is that whereas the other expansions had notes saying that you only required the core game, this one requires the core game and the B-Files expansion that I've looked at previously. So you must have both of those in order to be able to use what's in this. Otherwise you're a bit schnookered. But anyway, we'll look on the bottom of the box. So we got Birkin Stage 5 and Birkin Stage 1 as models in this box. And we've also got boss behaviour cards and blurb in the top right corner. And if we look inside, we got the rules booklet for this particular expansion. Another overview of the contents, boss reference cards and boss behaviour cards, and notes about the additional content and further text saying that you've got to have the B-Files expansion as well as the core game, as if it didn't. And this one we got a model with an immense base, whereas the bulky bases of the bigger bosses from other expansions for these Resident Evil board games have been covered a 2x2 grid. This behemoth covers a 3x2 grid, and it's got collision effects if this particular model has movement that takes it onto or through any player character's squares, pushing them to one side and potentially doing them damage if those players don't succeed in getting the minimum requirements for the defense roll as outlined by the collision attack in the bottom left corner of the boss reference card in question. There are no floor tiles in this particular expansion. Doesn't need them, but it does use, this one does use the 4x4 floor tile from the core game. Well, one of the sides of it anyway. And this just shows you how to upgrade scenario 11B from the B-Files expansion to include the Birkin Stage 1. And over the page we've got the bit that explains how to apply the Birkin Stage 5, that massive one we just looked at, into scenario 15B from the B-Files expansion. And now, as ever, there's a plastic lid. So these are still in the shrink wrap at the moment, because at the time of recording this video I'd only just bought this. I was very lucky that I found out about its existence quite by chance, otherwise this could have very easily passed me by. The shop I got and I spotted it on literally only had 2 copies of this left, so I was very quick to buy a copy, especially as it was heavily reduced in price. As Resident Evil 2, the board game, it dates back over 5 years now. It first released in 2019, and the year of the recording of this particular video is 2026, so a 7-year gap, it's very possible that Steamforged Games may no longer have the rights to produce more copies of these expansions, nor especially the core game. So the fact that there are only 2 of these left at the shop I got it from suggests that they were just getting rid of old stock, and I was lucky that I managed to find one before it sold out completely, and I would have had to have potentially bought it online on auction sites for absolutely astronomical prices. So the only thing left to show now, here's the model for Birkin Stage 1. As you can see, it's on a medium base, so it covers half of a floor square. And you can see it's detailed. And last but not least, Birkin Stage 5, which, as we saw from the bit about its massive bulk, covers 6 floor squares in a 3x2 grid. God, look how impressive that is. Incredible detail on the models in this board game. And there's nothing underneath it. As I said, there were no floor tiles in this particular expansion. So that is the Malformations of G B-Files expansion. Not to be confused with the Malformations of G expansion that I'd already looked at previously, as mentioned earlier in the video. Don't get those 2 muddled up, whatever you do. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.